Everybody hates Rey
Rey Mysterio
Mysterio.
is no doubt one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time, a universally loved icon who
I was gonna say, bro, this has got to be like storyline wise, because there do be a lot of people that win against Rey, and it always made me so sad.
transcends generations to the point where if someone tells you that they don't like Rey Mysterio, it is instantly a huge red flag.
Let's
And
check it
while all
out.
of us fans, young or old, all love Rey Mysterio. In the kayfabe world of wrestling, yo, everybody hates Rey Mysterio. Despite being one of the most successful wrestlers of all time, this man's career has been filled with some of the most insane disrespect you've ever seen any wrestler face.
The
From
Eddie
betrayals to
Guerrero.
injuries, to getting thrown off buildings, to more betrayals, to just straight up bullying. Rey
Brother.
Mysterio in his WWE career
It's the one guy who had a fucking custody battle in a wrestling match. That shit was crazy.
has been a certified victim. It all began back in 2002 when
That
Ray
shit was
finally
cooked.
made his debut in the company, and instantly upon his arrival, Ray became a fan favorite. And instantly upon his arrival, his bad luck began. Just a few months into his run, Ray found himself in a feud with the Big Show, and by feud, I mean we got a giant Neanderthal torturing a tiny Mexican man on live television. Once Ray started beefing Show, it really set the tone for the rest of Ray's career. We started seeing shit that just didn't make any sense. On an episode of SmackDown back in 03, Big Show put up to the main event and just casually grabbed Ray and tossed him into the crowd. Not the front row, not the second row, nah, he sent his ass all the way to
Wait, that looked cool though. In the background, you can see the fist.
shit that just didn't make any sense. On an episode of SmackDown back in 03, Big Show put up to the main event and just casually grabbed Ray and tossed him into the crowd.
Bro, that fist might be my favorite era of like arenas. That was so cool.
Not the front row, not the second row, nah, he sent his ass all the way to Mexico, and the show just went on like nothing happened. And at that point, you would assume that that would be enough, right? Like, there's
Send his
no
ass
further
back?
Violence against Ray.
Ah,
At the
nah.
pay-per-view, poor Ray is getting this done to him.
He's a fed.
Nothing, no protection, nothing to break his fall. Straight
Oh!
to the dome. A grown man getting tossed around like that. It makes no sense.
Jesus, that was bad. I don't even remember that. That was bad.
CT to the
Hold on.
for more violence against
That was
Ray. Nah, at the pay-per-view, poor Ray is getting this done to him. Yo, nothing, no protection, nothing to break his fall. Straight CT to the dome. A grown man getting tossed around like that. It makes no sense.
That is
But
tragic.
honestly, it was just another day in the life of Rey Mysterio. As the years went on, things just got worse and worse for poor little Ray. 2004 comes and JBL at this point becomes SmackDown's biggest savage. Deport the Mexicans, build a wall, you know the deal. And while JBL was in a feud with Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio stepped up to help his good friend against the evil JBL.
Huh? Wait. So this guy was just like Trump RP before Trump? I mean, Trump wasn't the originator. He's just the poster boy, I guess. It's just like, I don't remember much about JBL except that he lost in 6 seconds to Rey Mysterio in WrestleMania 25.
Build a wall, you know the deal. And while JBL
And then
was
Rey
with Eddie
Mysterio came out as the Joker too. That shit was crazy.
Rey Mysterio stepped up to help his good friend against the evil JBL. He wanted to hold it down for his best friend. He wanted to hold
Brother,
it down for
what
his
the
people.
fuck
He
is-
wanted to stand up against the bully. He proceeded to get destroyed for 10 minutes.
Oh, is that my dad? Like, what the
JBL on
fuck was
episode of
that?
SmackDown for no reason
Bro's
just
kicking
kills
around
Rey Mysterio.
somebody.
No
Like,
joke,
what the
the longest
hell?
squash match I can recall. For 10 minutes straight, including a commercial break, for good measure, JBL does everything he can to basically deport Rey Mysterio to heaven. Power slam, suplexes,
Oh, now he's going to
punches,
heaven.
everything and anything. JBL
Man
did
said,
more
"Fuck
moves in
Mexico,
this
you're
match
going
than
to
he had for
heaven."
the past 5 years
Jesus.
before this. JBL pulled up with a custom moveset just to bully Ray, and the worst part was during this assault, nobody came out to help Ray. Not Eddie, not any referees, not any trainers, not Funaki.
Or John.
Nobody. And that was just the beginning because once 05 came, getting beat up by a racist was the least of his worries. 2005 was the infamous year in which Ray was just supposed to be in a nice cute little tag team with his best friend. Aha, all fun and games with Eddie Guerrero. Instead, it turned into a situation where Ray almost lost custody of his son. Wait, what? Eddie and Ray, while tag team partners, ended up having a friendly competition to see which of the two were truly better.
Honestly, it's kind of scary. This is Dom Mysterio, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain this is, I think he only has one kid. If this is Dom Mysterio looks more like Eddie Guerrero than Rey Mysterio, which is scary. Like, sometimes. Yeah, I think it's mostly just the mullet, though. Yeah, I think if he got rid of that, maybe it'd be like, okay. Just looks like some dude. Like,
Ray almost lost custody of his son.
but he looks a lot like
Eddie
Eddie.
and Ray will tag
At
team
least right
partners, ended
now.
up having a friendly competition.
2024?
Which of the two were truly better? And when Eddie kept losing the one-on-one matches, let's just say it became personal. Eddie lost to Mysterio 2 times in a row, and he was like, screw it, I'm breaking up a happy home, and proceeded to tell the world that he was indeed Dominic's poppy. For a solid 3 months of television, every single week, Rey Mysterio would come out and get bullied by Eddie Guerrero, his former best friend. Week in and week out, he was reminded that Eddie was Dominic's true poppy, and that Eddie wanted him back. Poor Ray pulled up to the company 3 years prior to this, right? He was all excited, like, "Yay, I'm gonna be Cruiserweight champion. I get to work with my friends again. My son will get to see me wrestle every week." Yeah, fast forward 3 years, your son is getting taken away from you, buddy. Get ready to learn Chinese. It is one of the most insane and infamous storylines. Like,
brother, you know what's crazy? I don't know what's crazier, the fact that this happened or that like his biggest rivalry is with his son, and that's been longer than 3 months. I don't know. This is fucking crazy though. The idea of a custody battle is fucking crazy. But like, I can't lie. Like watching Dom and Ray fight now is very cool, yet bittersweet. I'd rather see them like fight together, not each other. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Ray still be fighting everybody.
Companies ever.
Man's out here fighting his own kid, man.
Done, and it's like, of course, it's Rey Mysterio getting clapped. Of course, he's the one getting betrayed by his best friend, and his son's getting taken away from him. But Ray holds it down for his son, and he proves to us that he's a top tier father.
Oh yeah.
The year ends with a sad passing of Eddie Guerrero, and Ray ends up in a tag team with Batista. They become best friends, and it was a really fun friendship that we saw form out of nowhere. Ray, though, at this point becomes a man on a mission, because despite the issues he had with Eddie, after Eddie's passing,
that might be fun.
His old
that might be the most fun random tag team that I've seen in my like WWE history. I remember when we used to, I mean me and my brother and my cousins, whenever my brother would always pick Rey Mysterio, but whenever he'd do that and we'd do a tag team, I'd always go Batista because this man's big and he's got the bomb. Like the bomb looked cool, but like I don't know, there's something about the chemistry was there. I guess because he's big and he's small. Like, I don't know.
Friendship that we saw form out of nowhere. Ray, though, at this
point
cool. Becomes a man on a mission.
Plus, it's Batista.
The issues he had with Eddie,
Batista and
passing,
Ray.
He reps his old best friend like there's no tomorrow. Ray tells the world that he's gonna go and win the 06 Rumble and go on to Mania and become world champion, not only for himself but for the late great Eddie Guerrero. And he wins the 06 Rumble against all odds, repping Eddie to the fullest. And it's like, wow, finally Ray.
Oh, he's number 2.
Ray's gonna go get his moment at Mania. Finally, for a few months, Ray might not get bullied.
I think he was number 2 or number 1
for him. And you know, at this point, there's no one to betray him either. No, remember.
That's what's crazy.
The Rey Mysterio story. Everybody hates this guy.
Eddie ain't in heaven. Eddie's down there in hell.
Ray, in something that would only happen to Ray, of course, ends up in a situation where he wins the Rumble, yet for some reason ends up in a match against Randy Orton and No Way Out, where his Mania shot was on the line. And you would assume that the guy who won the Rumble would double down and win again and go on to Mania and win for his dead friend, right? It's Rey Mysterio. Ray loses a match to Randy Orton and gets absolutely bitched. I don't know what else to describe it, and he's out of the main event of WrestleMania. And I swear, after this happened, it was like the most depressing 2 weeks of SmackDown I've ever seen.
But
that's
it's fine.
It's fine. It's Ray's time.
That's pretty fucked.
Holds it down for him, and he adds him back to the match at WrestleMania. And at WrestleMania 22, Ray's legacy is cemented when he wins the triple threat match and becomes World Heavyweight Champion, the smallest world champion in the company's history. Against all odds, Ray did it. From getting tossed into the crowd, getting beat up every week by giants, almost losing his son, Ray, 4 years into this run with the company, won the big one.
Deserved.
And it was such a sweet moment. He won the title. He celebrated with Eddie's family. He celebrated with Vicky, Eddie's widow. He celebrated with Chavo, Eddie's nephew. His own family was nowhere to be seen, but you know, it's fine, I guess. He did it for Eddie.
Oh, wait, the Louis V. Damn, man was on the Louis V back in the day. Damn, okay.
When it was, and this began one of the greatest title runs of all time. No, it's Rey Mysterio. So instead, this began one of the saddest, most depressing title reigns of all time. Yo, you would assume that when he's the champion, he might get some solid booking, right? You know, you would assume now that he's champion, he might not get killed every week. No. Now instead, Mark Henry tortures him every week on SmackDown. Donald Trump is back to bully him. They flew the Great Khali straight from India
Donald
to
Trump.
destroy him. They even brought in Kane from Raw to SmackDown.
Nah, that's kind of nah. All right, now this is too far. We got legends on legends here, and my mom is a Great Khali fan. But ain't no way they let Great Khali just wreck this boy. Come on, man. Bro, they tried with all their heart to get the Great Khali on, like, some John Cena shit, I swear. Back in the day, like, he was being pushed. It worked on my mom, but fuck, man.
Straight from
I just remember seeing this guy, and I don't remember seeing this, but some matches, except for the bamboo match. I thought the bamboo match was cool. Bamboo cage. But other than that, that motherfucker, that guy ain't doing much.
India just to destroy him.
I don't know why the motherfucker seemed a little harsh. There's nobody in wrestling I really hate. Like, I don't. They're all just doing their job, you know. Maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff that's gross, but I don't know.
They even brought in Kane
I ain't gonna
from
call him
Raw to
motherfucker just for
SmackDown
that.
to beat him up. Every week Ray is
That's too
getting his
far.
ass beat. He might have been the world champion, but yo, he was not treated like one. And even when he did beat someone and defended his title, such as JBL Judgment Day, just look at the state of him. He was literally Kenny
Jesus.
from South Park, just dying every episode. And just when things couldn't get any worse, Chavo
Booker.
Guerrero, the most useless member of the roster, betrays him and costs him the title. Yes, the same idiot
Yeah,
who
Chavo.
ran to celebrate with at WrestleMania 22 instead of his own family ended up costing him the title. And after this, things just got
Chavo.
better. Poor Rey Mysterio just hit the gutter. To add insult to injury,
Chavo?
he was out here getting abused by the Guerrero.
Bro had to go out to Chavo. I mean, like, at least he had a run. Drew McIntyre didn't even get to start. I mean, he had, like, 10 seconds, maybe, at most. And then Roman Reigns on WrestleMania 30. I mean, he got it back, and then probably has one of the best wrestling fucking championships in history. But, like, I mean, there's worse championship runs, I feel like. Like, this is pretty bad. It sounds like he got bullied, but...
Family, the same family who we try to hold it down for to help out, you know, to make sure Eddie's memory
It's
doesn't
been
die.
worse.
Nah, sorry, Ray, they hate you, buddy. And before you know it, millions of kids are around the world are watching SmackDown, and they get to witness Rey Mysterio hung upside down by the stage, getting his leg broken by Chavo Guerrero while screaming, "I quit." Cheers. Son's crying. Nice one. Everybody hates Rey Mysterio. Yo, do you know how fucking depressing it was watching this as a kid and seeing Rey Mysterio get killed by Chavo Guerrero of all?
I believe that. That Facebook post by Cheryl Doyle, I believe that. Or Sharon Doyle, I believe that shit.
Yo, do you know how fucking depressing it was watching this as a kid and seeing Rey Mysterio get killed by Chavo Guerrero of all people, getting his leg broken, him screaming, I quit, I quit.
That's pretty bad.
Cried. I genuinely cried watching this.
That's pretty
So at this
bad.
point, Ray gets injured for real, and he misses a solid 8 months of action after this. And after everything he had been
Oh,
through for the
shit. Actually, speaking of crying in wrestling, I remember when I went to wrestling in real life. One of the first times, maybe the first time, was a Hell in a Cell in Dallas, 2011, maybe a little sooner. It's whenever Undertaker and Kane fought, and then they had Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston. And saying Drew McIntyre a second ago reminded me that I almost cried that night because I was such a huge Kofi fan. That was like Kofi Jamaican, like character. I really like the intro song. I like the boom boom boom. I still like Kofi now. He's a high flyer. He's kind of like Ray, but you know, his own style. He's got good Royal Rumble saves. Anyways, the point is, whenever I was there, I felt something inside that I was like, I had to push down. I was like, nah. I was like, it ain't John Cena, you know. It ain't John Cena. And then John Cena came out, and I swear he lost. I think he lost. I think at that point, I did have a couple of tears. If John Cena went in and lost, which I can't remember. I remember if it was NXT versus John. So yeah, he had to lose. Actually, that was a tragic night.
The best, right?
That was a good but tragic night. So we all have. My point is, we all have those wrestling nights. You know, like shit, it gets bad.
You can't get betrayed if you're at home, right? You can't get bullied if you're at home. It was a nice little break for Ray, especially considering the fact that when he did come back, things were somehow gonna get even worse. Ray comes back at SummerSlam 2007 just looking absolutely disgusting. He thought he was a Silver Surfer. Instead, he just looked like an idiot. At this point, the costume designers betrayed him, bro, because what the hell is this?
That is shit.
So Ray comes back and he wins his first match, and everyone was so happy to see him.
That is so
One of the
bad.
biggest selling points of the actual pay-per-view was Ray's
Jesus,
return.
who let him go out like that? That is so bad. Like,
So he came back with a lot of momentum, and it felt like we were going to get another
It's
huge
terrible.
push. Everyone was so excited. Everyone was down. SmackDown felt like must-watch TV, and what better way to bring Ray back to reality than have the Great Khali traumatize a generation of wrestling fans? What the...
not the Khali
It
again.
took 2 weeks. After missing 8 months, it took 2 weeks for them to kill Rey Mysterio. They had the Great Khali go out there and crush his head like a
He's
watermelon.
a fucking.
This was one of the most
Oh man, I forgot he was the champ. I remember him crushing his head. I remember being like, "What the fuck?"
disturbing, violent attacks on any wrestler back in the day, and of course it was Ray. It had to be him. Of course we had to watch Ray get this done to him, watch him get the chalupa juice squeezed out of his head. And this was it. This was another moment where kids
Chalupa?
all over the world were crying. We were
Yeah.
traumatized. We were hurt. We were disturbed.
See, I remember this because I remember just being like, "What the fuck?"
And the wildest part about this was it took 2 minutes for Batista to come and save him. Ray was literally
2
dying in the
minutes.
ring, leaking, pouring, the most he's ever died, if that makes any sense. He's been dying a lot, and Batista just took his sweet time. He even waited waited for his music to hit to come down, and by the time he does come out to save the day, even the fans are just like, well, what is the point, bro?
Isn't it dead?
It was just a wrap. Every single week, something was happening to this guy. It made no sense. Stuff that you couldn't even predict. Stuff that could only be written by people who genuinely hated this man. One time, one of his ops literally did a fake stretcher job just to lure him in so we could clap him. I'm sorry. Big Show comes back to the company. Who's the first person he's clapping for no reason? What do you think?
Of course, it's fucking Finley. Like.
Show comes back to the company. Who's the first person he's clapping for no reason? What do you
What
think?
the fuck?
Rey Mysterio is a wrestler who always shows love to his fans
shit.
when he comes out, right? How does he get repaid for that? How does he get thanked for that? How about getting clapped like this? Next thing you know, he's getting his mask
Chris
taken off on
Jericho.
pay-per-view. He's running for his life, and just
Yeah, I remember that, man. Brother, that's so trash. And what would have made that Finley bit better, though, is if a Hornswoggle just came out under the fucking arena or something. That would have been wild.
you know, he's getting his mask taken off on pay-per-view. He's running for his life, and just to make things even worse for him, his family's getting traumatized again on live TV because they, you know.
I remember this one. This might be my most memorable Rey Mysterio moment. Because, I don't know, I guess my consciousness kicked in. Besides the WrestleMania 25, this consciousness moment was huge. I remember he straight shaved the CM Punk. That was crazy. That's wild.
They hadn't taken enough before, and by 09, it's like, wow, it's been a few years since he got, you know, betrayed. So what time is it? Hey, Batista, it's your time to shine, Playboy. And just like that, another one bites the dust. Another.
Oh, I
friend
remember
turns on
that.
Rey.
That was
By
trash.
2010, it was sad. It was actually depressing. Every year, somehow, the bullying, the betrayals, everything just got worse for him. It's like nobody cared about him. Nobody ever helped him. Nobody ever wrote out for him. And if they ever did, it was always too late. Yo, it just got sad. And the perfect example of everybody hates Rey Mysterio is when he ended up in a little feud with Jack Swagger. It was the summer of 2010.
Jack
I remember
Swagger.
this vividly. And Jack Swagger had been targeting Rey's ankle for weeks. Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Ray eventually ended up in the trainer's room. He was clearly.
He has that
hurt. He was
ankle
doing
fucking
offensive
grab.
attacks.
He has that one signature
Jack Swagger
move.
pulls up to the trainer's room like the biggest demon and tells everyone to get lost. He grabs Ray's ankle and just proceeds to put him in the ankle lock. And Ray is out here screaming for his life. He's crying. He's pleading. Once again, Ray is dying. And Swagger, Swagger just keeps going with a submission. And before you know it, Ray is getting dragged
It's
out of
not
the trainer's
great.
room. And it's like, damn, okay, this is a pretty solid attack. You know, nice booking, nice way to get heat on Swagger. The issue was the ankle lock didn't stop. Jack Swagger proceeded to have Rey Mysterio in the ankle lock for 3 straight minutes. 3 straight minutes, dragging him all over the arena from the backstage to the front stage. Dog, 3 minutes ago, you could have went to your kitchen, got a bag of popcorn, put it in the microwave, made it, ate half of it, came back, and the ankle lock would have still been going on. And no, nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody stopped him. Nobody did anything. Nobody saved him for 3 minutes. For 180 seconds, this man was getting his ankle turned to dust, and nobody moved an inch until the big slow pulled up 3 minutes later. At that point, it's like, what was even the point of that, bro? Just leave it. It's done. Everybody hates Rey Mysterio. The bad guys, the good guys, friends, enemies, referee, wives of friends, his own family, John Cena.
It's even funnier when you consider how many fucking people are backstage. Because they had to actually orchestrate it where nobody would be in their path. That's funny as fuck.
They had 2011 Superman Make-A-Wish Foundation High Chief
Oh,
John
fuck.
Cena do Rey Mysterio dirty.
Yo, is that
in
fucking Dricus Duplessis? What the fuck?
itself is so insane.
Bro, what? That looks like Dricus if he didn't get punched in the face a couple times. Holy shit. What the fuck?
They had Rey Mysterio go out there in 2011 and win the vacant WWE Championship. It was like the coolest thing ever. Nobody expected it. Wow, Rey's champion. And they made his title run last less than 90 minutes, less than an episode of Raw. He won the
Oh my god, brother. I remember this. I am so bittersweet about this because when I watched him win, I was like, yeah. And then when I saw what was about to happen here, I was like, yeah. Well, I was a huge John Cena fan, but I was also like, my brother liked Rey Mysterio. And it was one of those cases where I couldn't like it as much as him, and I already liked John Cena. So it's like, I mean, when I saw who the fuck was coming up next, I was like, well, I mean, shit.
to open up Raw and couldn't even make it to the next show as
Shit.
champion. He couldn't even take the title home to show his kids and come back next
Yeah,
week
like-
and lose. Nah, man, John Cena
That's
pull up,
crazy.
challenge him to a match. He just loses. He just gets slapped. It makes no sense. It's just absolutely embarrassed. Just absolutely taken advantage of. It makes no sense. Ray even left the company, came back years later, and guess what? Everyone still hated him. If anything, they hated him even more. Next thing you know, he's
That's
getting thrown off a
wild.
building. I'm not making this up. He got thrown off a building. And if that wasn't enough, yo, we had to go even crazy.
Eye for an
We
eye?
need someone to take someone's eye out. Who's available? Ray, come here. We gotta take your eye out. I'm sorry. Wait, what? Rey
What?
Mysterio in kayfabe during COVID got his eye taken out by Seth Rollins. How do you even think of this shit, bro? Yo, it doesn't matter what generation you grew up in. If you're a 90s kid,
What?
2000s kid, 2010s, at this point, the 2020 kids are gonna be seeing Rey Mysterio will be getting bullied on TV. Fast forward to
I wonder, like, I wonder if it's just a case of like Rey Mysterio always says yes. Like, I feel like some of this could be, I mean, quite clearly, some of this could be used on like other people. I don't know. I guess Ray's just always down, so they're like, fuck it, give it to Ray. And it's like Ray's favorable, so it helps boost the bad guys a little bit. You're like, damn, he beat up Ray. I guess he's good. I mean, everybody loves Ray because, I mean, he's fast, he's slick, he's tiny. He's not really like anybody else. Like, he had that Latino heat. I mean, he's crazy.
kids are gonna be seeing Rey Mysterio will be getting bullied on TV.
Kind of crazy that, like, considering his history, he's as, like, popular as he is. Man was on WWE 2K, or 22K? I don't know how the fuck you talk about those games. But WWE 22 by 2K. Fucking, he's on that cover. I mean, he's clearly a draw still. So yeah, I don't know. Like, he left. You think he would have left sooner if a lot of this shit was he didn't fuck with. I think he was just kind of game, which is why he kind of went through a lot of this stuff. Wow.
On TV. Fast forward to 2022, his own kid, his son, the same little idiot whose custody he fought for in a damn ladder match, becomes a wrestler, and even he turns on Rey Mysterio. Even his son, every single person he knows turns on him and does him dirty.
This
His
is the
own
worst.
son proceeds to go around telling the world how his father was a deadbeat. He proceeds to go back home with his emo.
Yeah, this is the worst. The rest of them have been like, he's getting hurt in some pretty bad ways, but I think in terms of legacy, family depiction, even like a person depiction, like some people will probably just believe what Dom says just cuz. I mean, kids will believe what he says just cuz. But like, I mean, I was one of those kids. Like, I heard shit in wrestling, I was like, that's gotta be true. Like, no. But like, not all the time. But like, yeah, no, this is just kind of cooked. You fought for me for 6 months, Dad. You fought for my custody for 6 months, but fucking, you a deadbeat, man. Like, you ain't do nothing for me.
Proceeds to go back home with his emo girl and do this to him. So you know what?
Hey,
turns out
hey,
I'm wrong. I guess
hey,
he can be bullied at
don't
home.
talk
And
about the
most
Ray like
unfortunate
that.
part is, fast forward to present
Chill out.
day. Fast forward to 2024. Rey
Chill out.
Mysterio is still out here getting betrayed to this very day. Rey Mysterio is now a 49-year-old man. He's in the Hall of Fame, which, by the way, even his speech couldn't go on.
Bro, Jesus Christ. Jeez. Bro, as soon as I saw Carlito, I've been watching wrestling a lot more lately. A lot more. Like, I started watching a little bit before WrestleMania kicked in, just to get like an idea of where we're gonna end up. And as soon as I saw Carlito around Rey Mysterio, I was like, it's a wrap. It's a goddamn wrap. Bro, you can't be friends with the guy whose theme song is literally "I spit in the face of those." Like,
49-year-old man. He's in the Hall of Fame.
That shit's
which, by the way,
crazy.
even his speech couldn't go on without him getting disrespected. He's still out here getting betrayed by old men, by young people, everyone. The more things change, the more one thing always stays the same, and that's Rey Mysterio getting clapped. Like, at this point, the only thing left is for someone to pull up and shoot him for real, and at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised. 20-year history of betrayals, friends turning on him, family turning on him, bullying, eyes getting poked out, thrown off buildings, broken legs, broken everything, whatever you name it. This man has been through it all.
Bro, sounds
And
like a
we reached
stuntman.
point where it's like, yo, everybody except us, the fans, for the past 20 years has clearly hated Rey, right? So the question is, have we been bamboozled? Is Rey Mysterio the problem? I mean, yo, when you look back at it, when you look back at all this stuff, I mean, his best friend turned on him, his family, his own son, his
That's an
close friends,
idea.
his colleagues, but Batista, Eddie Guerrero, you name it. Maybe there's a reason why nobody came out to save him when he needs saving until it's too late. Maybe Rey's the problem. And it just gets you thinking. It doesn't make any sense. Well, what if Rey Mysterio was a deadbeat father? I mean, he did tweet this back in 2013. Yeah, you can't wait to beat your kids, Rey? Huh? Is that what you said?
Hey man, bro, chill out. That's fine, brother. That is so fine. That doesn't matter.
Why didn't Rey...
Oh damn, he was number 20. Bro, that would have been cooler if they gave him. I think John Cena's on 2K23. Yeah, I have a copy over there. But shit, bro, that would have been cooler if he was on 23, and he was on 22. It's just like the decade lineup. That would have been sick. Anyways, I think this is fine. Yeah, that's what my dad told me when I opened my PS2 for Christmas. Man was like, all right, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Put it in the game. It's over.
Why didn't Ray
It's
just
over.
let Eddie win his match back in 05? Was his egos really that big that he risked destroying his family just to win a few matches? All these things, when you really look at them together, it's like, hey, maybe Ray was the problem. So I guess the question is Rey Mysterio the biggest victim in wrestling history? Or is Rey Mysterio the biggest problem in wrestling history? I think it's time we have a very uncomfortable conversation about Mr. Mysterio. Let me know in the comments down below. Is Rey
Mysterio the problem? Maybe in a sense, I guess you could say. I feel like it's just what I said. I feel like he just is kind of fine with doing whatever. Like, he's kind of open for some idea. I mean, if you're open to getting your eyes gouged out, I think kind of open for a lot of things, you know? Shit. Crazy. Also, the custody battle. I mean, it really says a lot about Ray. Like, he's willing to go to some parts that people probably don't even want to talk about. Like, that'd be crazy. Ooh, this guy's got a point. Ray should just go full heel and just say, man, fuck this company. They ain't done shit for me. They ain't do nothing but throw me around, and then just show, like, a bunch of honestly, show this video in 2x speed, and they'd be like, oh my god. Like, what the fuck? Like, what have we done to this guy? Absolute legend, though.